Hey guys, I'm Katrina from Group 29. Jaden, Aubrey, Monica, Emily, and Trenton are the rest of my group, and our question was, is there a need to care for creation?
With what is creation? Realistically, everything is creation. The most famous creation actually occurred in Genesis, where God created the heavens and the earth, where God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And that there be a vault between the waters and waters and separate waters from waters. Genesis 1 through 14. Creation is practically everything that provides life or has life. Animals provide life when reproducing, similarly to humans. Vegetation, plants, water, soils is what provides us humans and animals with life. So again, what is creation? Creation is what continuously gives us life and purpose. Now, who is the creator? Throughout the Bible, we continuously see that God is the creator. God is our Father. And the Bible actually states that God made the heavens and the earth, Genesis 1:1. Humans are commanded to care for God's creation. All of heavens and earth belong to the Lord. Creation and all created things are inherited good because they are of the Lord. God is emphasized throughout the Bible. He is who gave everything life and purpose. Therefore, it is why we should take care of it. Not only because He created it, but because it gives us life as well.
So what happens when us as Christians don't care for creation, God's creations? Our day-to-day lives do not reflect the Bible, but of our lifestyles and the culture we live in. So it is not reflecting the Bible, and therefore we fall out of line with caring for creation and just go with our lifestyles and what everybody else is doing, and we just do what's easiest for us and don't follow the Bible, and failing to see the world as God's creation. So a quote from Billy Graham in Biologos's article says, "When we fail to see the world as God's creation, we will end up abusing it. Selfishness and greed take over, and we end up not caring about the environment or the problems we're creating for future generations." So if we don't follow the Bible, and we don't really see things as God's creations, we will fall out of line with it, and we will suffer from it for future generations and even ours. As you can tell, global warming and pollution and all of that, it's because people from the future and present don't follow the Bible and don't care for God's creations. And loving God means caring for His creations. So as a Christian, you love God, and loving God means you care for His creations because God made everything. In Genesis 1:27, or Genesis 1 and 2 states everything that He created. And so loving others means caring for creation. So caring for God's creation, earth, is loving others, which is if we take care of God's creation, then it takes care of others. And so Genesis 1:27 is, so God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him. Male and female, He created them. So God is saying that He appointed us to bear His image, and in God's image, you should care about creation and stuff. And then Genesis 2:15 says, "And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it." So He entrusted this world to our care. So we should always care for His creation because He trusted us in the beginning for sending the man to the Garden of Eden. Okay. And so things that have happened since not taking care of the planet and God's creations is the loss of biodiversity and animals, plants, fungi, and bacteria, all what God gave us to live. All of what He gave us to live. He gave us all these things so we don't have to rely on other stuff. We rely on God's creations. And as Christians, we should take care of all creations God made for us in Genesis 1 and 2. And there is a picture quote that says, "Take good care of creation." St. Francis wanted that. People occasionally forgive, but nature never does. If we don't take care of the environment, there's no way of getting around it. So once you do it, you can't go back. So that's why as Christians and as people of God, we need to care for his
Hi
creation.
guys, I'm doing what we can do to change about it. We have to be prepared to change in God's world. We are building ourselves on top of what he has created. We are his creation, and what we can do about it is what we choose to do in his path. So I really think, like, with everything going on, we can't really change it. We can only grow from it. God has a plan and a path we should follow. So it's like we uphold everything that he has given to us, like the 7 days it took him to create our world. We just flow off of what he's created for us. So in the end, it's like, do we want to change God's plan, or do we want to follow more of what he has for us?
When answering the question, why should Christians care for creation, we look to Billy Graham, who says, "We know that God created the world and it belongs to him, not us. Because of this, we are only stewards or trustees of God's creation. We aren't to abuse or neglect it." And then looking at another quote, we have, "Thus humans have a responsibility to creation itself, as well as a responsibility to care for the neighbor. The earth is not mankind's to mistreat, instead it is mankind's to take care of." Looking at biblical references, we have Psalm 24:1. David says, "The earth is the Lord's, and all it contains, the world and those who dwell in it." And then again, Psalm 50:10-12. Says, "For every beast of the forest is mine, the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know every bird of the mountains, and everything that moves in the field is mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine and all it contains." David here is explaining that the earth is the Lord's, and if Christians are to love and honor God, they will strive to take care of his creation and what belongs to him. Last biblical reference, we have Genesis 2:15, which says, "Then the Lord took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and keep it." Just as Adam was created to take care of the Garden of Eden, mankind is here to take care of the earth, according to the Christian.
Why we should care continued, as us as being God's creations, if we don't take care of the world that he created for us, it kind of makes God frown upon us. And it also makes us seem that we don't care about like being God's creations and being one of the most sophisticated beings on the planet. So therefore, it's a respecting like system to be able to take care of like the land, the animals, and like the environment overall, no matter like where you are in the world. Because even like the smallest thing can make a bigger difference in the world. And through our creation, we're made as caretakers for the world. Like that's like the basics of like Adam and Eve and taking care of like the animals that are made here. So, and thank you guys for watching the presentation.